Okay, so what if I told you that the entire meaning of human existence, everything we are, everything we could be, was all riding on a single cosmic bet? That's exactly what we're diving into today. This epic philosophical showdown, a wager for our very soul. Let's get into it. And there it is, right at the heart of our story, this incredibly cynical bet from a character named Mephistopheles. He's betting that deep down, humanity is just frail, that when we're really pushed to our limits, we'll always choose a beautiful, comforting lie over a difficult, harsh truth. This one quote, that's the conflict that drives everything. So you gotta ask, who makes a bet like this? Who are these cosmic high rollers putting the fate of humanity on the table? Well, let's meet our two players. On one side, you've got the all-will. And this isn't a person, really. Think of it as a vast cosmic force, an impossible shifting geometry of pure energy that just is. And on the other side, we have Mephistopheles. He's this slick, almost corporate-looking figure in a modern business suit, just oozing cynicism. These two aren't just characters, they are, quite literally, two opposing ideas about what existence itself is all about. So let's break that down. What exactly is the all-will? Well, it's not a god, not in any way we'd understand it. It's basically the living embodiment of Nietzsche's famous idea, the will to power. It's the engine of all reality. Kind of like gravity, right? It's totally amoral. It doesn't care about good or evil, it just pushes. It pushes everything in the universe to grow, to expand, to become stronger. And that makes Mephistopheles the perfect opponent. See, he's not your classic devil with horns and a pitchfork. No, he's something much more subtle and honestly, much more human. He is the personification of what Nietzsche called slave morality. You know, that little voice in all of us that chooses comfort over truth, the one that praises weakness as if it's a virtue. That's Mephistopheles. He is the spirit who denies, the one who wants us to stay wrapped up in our cozy delusions. So where does a cosmic battle like this even take place? Not on some distant planet or in the heavens. Nope. The entire battlefield is inside the mind of one of history's most brilliant and most tormented thinkers, Friedrich Nietzsche himself. And you can see why he was the perfect choice, right? The guy was a Faust of the mind, totally obsessed with tearing down old ideas of good and evil to see what was underneath. He saw all of society's values as this slave morality, just a system built on fear to keep people small. What some people saw as his descent into madness, the all-will saw as a divine frenzy. This was the look of a man who dared to stare right into the abyss of truth and didn't blink. But then, just as the cosmic pieces are set, a new player storms onto the board, humanity. And in this incredible act of pure arrogance, a group of scientists decides to get involved. They think they can actually control the very forces Nietzsche was wrestling with. They called it the Zarathustra Project. And get this, their goal wasn't some grand philosophical enlightenment. It was about military tech. They wanted to create a weaponized Overman, a super soldier they could point at their enemies. They didn't want to unleash Nietzsche's philosophy. They wanted to lock it in a cage and use it for their own petty squabbles. Well, you can probably guess this didn't go according to plan. Not at all. They built this gamma-fueled cage to try and engineer a powerful slave, but they made one gigantic miscalculation. The energy they were pumping into Nietzsche, that was just the spark. The real catalyst, the real fuel for the fire, was Nietzsche's own deep, inherent will to power. It grabbed onto that energy, seized control, and in that moment, the frail philosopher was just gone, burned away, and in his place stood someone new, Wotan, the Overman. And the being that clawed its way out of that experiment is defined by this terrifying, absolute freedom. We're talking the strength of a god combined with the cold clarity of pure reason. He doesn't answer to any human master. He doesn't care about our old morality. He's not here to save us. He's here to surpass us. He literally creates his own laws, his own values. He is the meaning of the earth made flesh. And for the very first time, we see that slick, cynical mask on Mephistopheles just crack. He looks at this new being with real, genuine fear. He calls him a monster, a tyrant of the will. Think about that. He's no longer up against a fragile human he can manipulate. He is now face to face with a pure, untamed force of creation, and it absolutely terrifies him. Now, you'd think this incredible, world-shattering transformation would be the end of the bet, right? Game over. But you'd be wrong. For the all-will, this is where the real test finally begins. The stakes are just unbelievably high now. The all-littles looks at the Overman and sees the ultimate affirmation of life, a being that is finally, truly free. But Mephistopheles, he doubles down. He says even this godlike creature will eventually break, that he'll come crawling back and beg for the sweet oblivion of human comfort. He's betting that in the end, nobody, not even a god, can escape the need for a comforting lie. And that's it. The debate is over. The all-will lays it out plain and simple. The Overman is the argument now. He is the living proof. Every single choice he makes, every action he takes from this moment forward, will decide who wins this cosmic wager for good. So, that leaves us with this massive, hanging question. Now that he's a living god, will this Overman actually create a new meaning for all of us, something beyond human weakness? Or will he end up proving Mephistopheles right? Will he show that in the end, even the strongest, most powerful will can't resist the temptation of a comforting lie? The wager is on, and we just have to watch and see.